Back then I was probably spending maybe $50,000 a year on food. But when I was buying 30 dozen eggs, I mean, I remember I was getting them free sometimes because I would publicize the farm stand I was buying them from. And when you're eating 4 or 5 pounds of meat a day, that's a lot. There's this quote on the internet, and it's like, I eat for function, not for taste. I mean, don't be afraid to eat something that you crave once in a while. You need it for your mind too, right? A lot of this, like I talked about, is mental. So if your mind is telling you, hey, I need something that's off diet a little bit, or something that will help my mind. So the breakfast is still 80 protein and probably 200 grams of carbohydrates. And then I'll have, I'm not kidding, like chicken and rice the rest of the day. Chicken and rice. The same thing. People laugh about my monotonous eating style. It's just what I know. And I mean, once in a while I'll eat red meat. I try to eat less now. Over the weekend we ate at a restaurant. I did have some red meat. Every year it was, I had nightmares of like, oh, I'm going to lose the title. I wanted to win as many as I could. And if you follow my career, I won 2 and I lost 1 in the middle, 08. And then I came back to win it again for 2 more. And no one's ever done that in history. And so I believe, if you ask me honestly, that's probably why I, kept pushing myself harder. It's just, once you get that feel of Mr. Olympia, you don't want to go backwards. Coleman and I battled, and I won in 06. And he came back in 07. He tried to win it back, and he finished 4th. So we carried bodybuilding to a crazy level of size and conditioning through our reign. It was basically a 2-man contest. There was no, if you look back in 03, 4, and 5, 6, no one talked about anyone else winning. It was only he and I, but there were 15 other guys in the contest, which was a little unfortunate for some of the other guys, to be honest. It was a little unfair, but at the same time, like, it was he and I that battle, and we were the biggest. When Ronnie stepped away, he didn't come back in 08. I was kind of confused on how I wanted to bring my physique in, because I had gone so big, and now I was looking at these littler structured guys that were more ripped. So I needed to try to become more conditioned, because my overwhelming size probably wouldn't win it for me. I needed to be sharper. And when you try to bring your body back down to a smaller weight, because my first Olympia I won at 273, and even in 09 when I came back to win the title I was 254. So that's a big swing of weight. So I actually had to lose a little bit of muscle in order to gather conditioning. And that's where I went wrong. It was miscalculation. I was flatter meaning the muscles weren't as full. And Dexter Jackson took the title from me. And it was heart-wrenching for me.
Yeah.
It was one of the darkest places in my career that I had been. Because remember, I had been first or second forever. And I'd never thought I could be beaten. So I guess it's kind of arrogance as far and overconfident and maybe just complacent. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed that I only held 2 titles. Remember, the guy who won prior to me won 8 in a row. The guy prior to him won 6 in a row. The guy prior to him won 8 in a row. Here I won 2 and lost. That's embarrassing for me. So, and I'm looked upon as like the do-all guy of bodybuilding. I was super successful. I was motivated. I was driven. I was like very robotic in my routine, and everyone knew that. Like, Jay was all business. Like, it was no play time for him. And I think for me, everyone's like, well, how did this guy miss a beat and just lose? So embarrassment, extra motivated. I was always better chasing. Like when I chased Coleman for those years and was second, I was always, solidified second. So now, here I am, like they were talking about me not even placing 08. Like if you watch the build up to the contest, they mentioned that Jay won't be in the top 2 or 3, or his body's just tired. So when I came back in 09, I just kind of shut up all that talk and came back at arguably one of my best looks since 2001.